At the beginning of the story, we see Victor working on his new prototype robot, the A112. He is accompanied by his wife, Nadia, and his colleague, Katya. Together they are building a highly intelligent robot capable of performing any task. As soon as the machine was operational, they tested its movement. Initially, the robot repeatedly fell over and couldn't walk properly, causing them some distress. Victor continued working nonetheless. However, when he saw that the robot was unable to control its strength and was breaking things, he became disheartened. To encourage him, Nadia said, "We can increase the robot's mental strength. It's just testing. Don't worry so much." Gradually, the robot learned to walk. The three were delighted with the progress. Gradually, with training, the robot improved, and they were all delighted with the results. One day, while working, Nadia received a call from her son, Mista. She was busy, so she hung up and texted, "Son, talk to your dad." She also told Victor to see what Mista needed. When Victor called his son, he said, "Dad, pick me up from school. I don't feel like it here, and I'm quitting math anyway." Victor scolded him, saying, "Stop making excuses and concentrate on your studies. If you understand, I'll teach you a lesson in Rapto." Hearing this, Mista became angry and hung up. Just then, some mischievous students came and started making fun of him. Angrily, Mista went to class and asked her teacher, "I want to be an artist. Why do I need math?" The teacher replied, "Yes, I do." He also cited Leonardo da Vinci as an example. He studied engineering before painting and built numerous prototype models. This further infuriated Mista. A few hours later, the teacher collected everyone's homework. Mista hadn't answered any of the questions. The entire page was filled with drawings. The teacher praised his drawing but said it was math class and failed the test. Meanwhile, in the lab, Victor tested the robot's voice. He discovered that Nadia and Katya had installed childish voice models into the robot. This angered Victor. Worse, he didn't have time to change it because they were running late for a meeting. At the meeting, they showed the robot's training videos to the committee. The general noticed that robot A12 wasn't able to save its target in time and was reacting slowly. He said the robot still needed a lot of improvement. Victor tried to explain that the robot had completed all its missions, but the general said, "Whether you fight there or we fight, even a small delay could cost a lot of lives." He also said that the robot's voice was terrible. "I want to improve it." This angered Victor very much at Nadia and Katya. The general also told them to increase its power and speed. Meanwhile, Mista was on his way home when he met his friend Grant, who cleans roads. Mista told him that the teacher had sent him to the principal's office. Grant consoled him, saying, "Don't worry, I can go to school in place of your parents if you want." But Mista refused and left. Later, in the lab, Victor spoke with A12. He asked why his test results were so bad. The robot said that perhaps he hadn't had a very good day. This angered Victor even more. Then the robot changed the topic and said, "Can I see your family photo?" In fact, he wanted to know more about the robot family. Victor said, "That's all nonsense, don't pay attention to all this." But the robot asked, "Are you all my family?" Victor denied it. "You're just machines. No humans, machines don't have families. And right now you're driving me crazy." With that, the three scientists left the lab, leaving A12 alone. Back home, Victor and Nadia scolded Mista for drawing the same math homework. Victor also remarked, "Your drawings aren't good. Study like your parents and become a scientist. Do you understand?" Mista angrily retorted, "I'll never be like you too." The way her son had said this made Victor very sad. Meanwhile, A12 was alone in the lab. He looked up the word family in the dictionary but couldn't understand anything. Then he thought, "To understand all this, I need to find a real family." He used his weapons to blow the door open and quietly left the lab. He wandered the city stealthily. At one point, he nearly collided with one of the small trains that ply the road. After a while, he saw some people painting something on the wall. When they heard the robot's voice, a boy fell down. The robot immediately came to his aid and rescued him. The robot had already saved the child, but the boy ran away in fear. Seeing this, A12 became very sad. A few minutes later, the robot went to a construction site and told the workers to finish their work quickly because their noise was causing a disturbance in the area. Hearing this, they panicked and started running. The robot saw the photo taken in the lab and wondered where his family was. The next day, Victor and his team met in the lab and learned that the robot had run away. Meanwhile, in class, the teacher told the students that a robotics competition was coming and everyone had to register. Okay? Hearing this, Mista stood up. The teacher asked, "Why don't you want to participate? You consider yourself an artist." Hearing this, Mista felt a little insulted and angrily left the class. Just then, Robot A12 arrived outside Mista's house. He made a key with his robotic finger and opened the door. Once inside, he went to the mirror and felt sad because he realized he was still alone. Then he heard the door open and suddenly hid. Mista came home, threw his bag on the floor, and went to the bathroom. After washing his hands, he saw the robot offering him a towel. Actually, he had too come to the bathroom to hide. Suddenly, he got scared and, startled, bumped into the sink. The robot tried to help him, saying, "I'll treat you." He ran to his room and climbed on the bed. The robot said, "I won't hurt you. I just came to help." When he saw that the boy was okay, he calmed down and said, "My name is A112, a multifunctional rescue robot." He told him everything, how he entered the house using his finger as a key, and then showed him his different voice models. Hearing his different voices, he laughed a little. After a while, the robot said, "I'm looking for a family. I want to understand what a family is." He also showed me the photo he had taken from the lab. Mista became sad and said, "This isn't a real family. My parents, Victor and Kapia, only think about themselves." The robot said, "I'm feeling the same way these days because I'm so useless that I can't even please my creator." Hearing this, Mista assured the robot that, "It's nothing like that. You've made me happy, haven't you? From today on, we're friends, and I'll call you Robbie." The robot was overjoyed to hear his unique name. Meanwhile, in the lab, General Oleg held a meeting with the scientists and angrily announced that the A112 had escaped. It could soon become a threat to everyone. It contained dangerous weapons. When Victor noticed that his family photo was missing, he decided to go home and check. Mista and Robbie were watching TV at home. As Victor arrived, the robot hid. Victor searched the entire house but found nothing. As soon as he left, Mista gave Robbie his computer so he could learn more.
Robbie read a lot of material in minutes. Then Misha took him to his friend Grant's workplace, where he created his art. Robbie looked at the drawings and asked why they weren't perfectly symmetrical, but Misha said that art doesn't require symmetry, it just needs beauty. Then he took Robbie to the window and they both watched the sunset. Robbie was overjoyed by the sight. He said, "Look, you'll have to hide tomorrow. I have to go to school." Robbie was left alone in the workshop, and Misha gave him a pen so he could draw. Meanwhile, General Oleg's men were telling him that they had searched a large part of the city and couldn't find the robot. He ordered his soldiers to increase security around the lab and send an alert to the townspeople as soon as possible to report any robot sightings. A few hours later, Victor, Nadia, and Misha were having dinner at their home. Nadia noticed Victor looking very sad and asked what happened. Victor replied that the boss had said the lab was probably closing today. Misha asked why. Victor told him that one of our robots, A12, had disappeared. If he wasn't caught and destroyed quickly, everyone would lose their jobs. Hearing this, Misha fell silent. The next day at school, Anton, a boy in his class, was annoying the teacher by operating his remote-controlled robot. When the teacher got angry, he threw the remote at me, and the teacher assumed Misha had done it. He was then expelled from the class without question. A little while later, Misha approached Anton in sports class. Anton began insulting him again, but Misha had had enough. He grabbed Anton and threw him down. "Why did you call me names? Yes, tell me." Just then, the gym teacher came running and separated them. Misha, enraged, left the class and went straight to the workshop. There, he saw Robbie and Gran playing cards, and they had become good friends. Seeing the distress on Misha's face, the robot asked, "What happened?" Misha explained, "There's a lot of troops after you. The order is to find you and eliminate you by any means necessary." Calculating this, Mi told Robbie to get away from the city. Then Gran told him there was a part of the forest where no one goes because a terrible fire had broken out there some time ago. Hearing this, Mi told Robbie that he should go there and try to put out the fire. This would make everyone think he was a good person, willing to help people. All three were delighted with this idea. Just then, some policemen opened the door to the workshop. He knocked and demanded they open the door immediately. Grant, deliberately trying to buy some time, said he was busy. Soon Me and Robbie fled to the terrace. To escape, Robbie put Me on his back and, using his jet, flew over both buildings. The police sent a report to headquarters that A112 had kidnapped a man right in front of their eyes. We're chasing him and will soon find his exact location. During this, Mi's phone fell down. When they saw the police about to surround them, Robbie made a huge leap and they both escaped. The news broke about A112's escape. Gran was interviewed, and the journalist assumed he was a prisoner of the robot, rescued by the police. That's why the police didn't arrest him. Meanwhile, Robbie and Misha were talking in the middle of a construction building. Misha said, "I'm very angry. All these people are spreading nonsense about you. They're ruining your image all over the media." Robbie said that he had some problems with his tests because of communication issues. Maybe there's something wrong with him. Misha told him not to overthink it. He's a very hardworking and good robot. Hearing this, Robbie was overjoyed. He gave Mi a thermal blanket, and they watched a movie together. A few minutes later, Mi remembered that tonight was the first night he wouldn't hear a good night from his mother. Robbie offered, "If you want, I can take you home." Mi refused, saying that if that happened, people would kill you. If they caught you, they would tear you apart. Robbie was touched by Misha's concern for him. The next morning, they woke up to the sound of 2 workers at the construction site. Mi said, "We have to do something so that no one recognizes us." They have to change their appearance a little. They can also extinguish the fire in the nearby forest so that the police and the public will believe that Robbie is a good robot. This way, his image will change a bit. Perhaps he won't be killed. Meanwhile, Katya came to Victor and Nadia at home and told them that the lab had closed, after which Victor went to inquire with the police if they had found any trace of the robot and his son. Meanwhile, Robbie and Misha had arrived at the city circus. After talking to the people working there, they dressed up as clowns so that no one would recognize Robbie at first sight. A few minutes later, Mi told Robbie to disguise himself. "Okay, I'll just quickly get the tickets." Just then, Anton and Olya, who were in Misha's class, arrived. They were surprised to see Misha and asked there were reports of his disappearance. Mi called Robbie over and told them that Robbie wasn't a bad robot. He was very nice. They were spreading negative stories about him for no reason. The children were a little frightened when they saw Robbie in a clown costume, but Misha explained that Robbie was his friend and that they were running so they could get Robbie to a safe place. Meanwhile, Victor tried to negotiate with the general, saying, "Sir, please don't close my lab." But the general said, "I've made my mind, and I'll destroy that robot wherever I find it." Disappointed, Victor left. He understood that talking to this man would be of no use, but seeing his biggest project fail, he felt terrible. Then, Misha told his friends, "Stay with Robbie. In the meantime, I'll buy a bus ticket. We need to go to the nearby forest and put out a fire to clear Robbie's name." He also made them promise not to tell anyone. They both promised Misha. But as soon as Misha left, Anton asked Robbie if he could really perform that amazing feat, or if it was all a lie in the news. Hearing this, Robbie became excited and took off his clown costume and began showing off his tricks in front of Mi. Mi took out his phone and started recording. This angered Olya. Anton said, "I don't care whether this robot lives or dies. I'll post the video on Instagram. I'll get a lot of followers." Olya was deeply saddened by his deception. Anton then left, and Robbie began talking to Olya. Meanwhile, 2 guards apprehended Olya. Based on his appearance, they determined that he was the boy who had disappeared. A few minutes later, Victor received a call from the police station. He felt relieved knowing that at least his son was okay. The police had found him. Anton, however, posted all the videos on social media, and the viral videos eventually reached the general's team. They decided to go and question the boy. At the police station, Victor met his son. He hugged him immediately and asked, "What were you doing all this time? That robot is dangerous, didn't you hear?" Misha replied that Robbie was his friend. He wasn't some evil machine like the general was telling everyone. He was a very good robot. He also explained that he had left him with some of his friends. He had also assured his father and brought him to the scene, promising not to report the robot. Victor hesitated for a moment, but then agreed and left with Misha. Meanwhile, Olya had given Robbie a new look with makeup. Victor noticed that Robbie had learned to communicate much better and that his thinking had changed significantly. But then, police cars arrived. Misha knew they were in for a lot of trouble. The 3 of them quickly ran towards the cargo ship's warehouse, but the police surrounded them. Oleg ordered them to quickly take the children aside so that they could attack the robot with their electromagnetic weapon, which would kill Robbie. When Victor refused, Oleg decided to use force. The soldiers slowly advanced. Just then, a container's cable broke. The container was about to fall very close to the general. The general wanted to kill him, but Robbie, without thinking, held on to the container to prevent anyone else from getting hurt. After a while, Robbie's body began to collapse under the weight of the container. His hardware couldn't support such a weight. He told everyone to move away. Misha, heartbroken, cried out for his friend. After a while, the container fell on Robbie, completely shattering him. Seeing all this, Oleg was shocked. "I wanted to kill this robot, but it saved me." After a while, the container was removed from Robbie. Misha, saddened, said goodbye to Robbie. Victor tried to calm his son down, but then Mi heard that Robbie was reactivating. Everyone was happy that Robbie was still somewhat okay. They all helped Robbie up and left. After some time, Mi showed Robbie and Olya the drawings of their adventure. Everyone loved them. Finally, everyone gathered for dinner, and Robbie asked for Nadia's phone so he could take a photo with his family.
If you enjoy what we do here, please like the video and subscribe to this channel to keep us motivated.